Joy Global just recently reported their earnings. Not a great quarter. Jim, you own shares of Joy Global in Action Alerts Plus. You're sticking with it. Why?
Well, first of all, it was a hideous quarter. I mean, but the fact is that they made a lot of money even with a hideous quarter. They had virtually no sales. I mean, they had a lot of aftermarket. The sales were horrendous. Now, the stock had moved up to 52, 53. You could second guess and say we should have trimmed some back. I obviously feel we should have. But they did announce a gigantic buyback, $1 billion over 3 years, and they're in there buying. There is the possibility that this was trough. And I think that is. I think it was trough because the U.S. has now been cleared. There's been such cutbacks in U.S. But there's way too much capacity in mining, and that means that the banks are reclaiming some of them. I mean, they're going bankrupt. A lot of these coal companies are going bankrupt, and they don't need equipment. So Joy is a problematic situation. Wish we had sold it, but going to battle it now.
All right, well, you bring up a good point, coal. Coal is bad right now. The prices are terrible. China's cutting back. You know, and you mentioned bankruptcy. We know that Patriot Coal's in bankruptcy right now, and they are the second largest.
Right, and Arch Coal hanging on. They'll tell you that they're not hanging on. They're doing great, but they closed the mine. In the conference call for Joy, Michael Sutherland really did do a major reset for coal. Maybe he should have seen it coming because it was hideous.
All right, so you're going to go on and stick with it.
Well, they got they've got this good buyback, and if the stock rallies up, Stephanie and I'll probably trim.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good plan.
Thank you.
But what about all that clean coal, Jim?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
All right, clean coal doesn't work, but we expect that Joy will eventually play out for Jim. He's going to hold on to it till it does. That's Jim Cramer, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.